How would you lose belly fat, get stronger, perform at your best and boost your immune system and energy levels in as little as 15 minutes? All of that sounds pretty good to me, but are these claims true? Rick Kaselj and Mike Westerdahl have just released their brand new Unlock Your Hip Flexors system, which makes these claims, and in this review I'll do my best to help you decide if this program is legit and worth your time and energy. This shouldn't, because this isn't your standard fat burning or weight loss program. It deals with a muscle in your body most people don't talk about, and to be honest I never even heard of until now, called the hip flexor. This muscle affects men, women, unhealthy and even healthy individuals, and when this muscle is tight it can affect us in ways you wouldn't believe. So let's dive into this Unlock Your Hip Flexors review and see what's going on. First, the hip flexors is considered the engine of our bodies. This muscle not only controls our balance, but it also controls our ability to twist, reach, bend, walk, step and sit. If you think about, almost all movement goes through our hips. For them, we don't ever think about the hip flexors, especially when everything is going right, but when they tighten this causes a huge amounts of problems within people, even healthy and active ones. In case you are wondering, here is just a small list of problems which tight hip flexors can cause. Bad compromised immune system, high anxiety, loss of sexual performance, nagging joint pains in your legs, lower back or hips, walking with discomfort, circulatory issues, hips locking up, trouble sleeping, digestive problems, circulatory issues. As you rest, I'm sure you'll thinking I've experienced one or more of these issues, and you're not alone. I've experienced most of these issues myself, and it's not fun. When the muscle is healthy, we feel great, and when it's not, problems occur which we might think is due to something else when it's really due to tight hip flexors. Now there is another muscle called the psoas. This major muscle is one of two that make up the iliopsoas. The psoas, which is pronounced psoas, plays a huge role in the movement of the human body. You might know this from school, but the psoas connects the upper body to the lower body, and it's the only muscle that does so within the human body. Long story short, without going back to school, LOL, is that when this muscle functions the way it should, you get improved core strength and a greater degree of mobility. It may seem easy, but it can help you drop body fat which sticks to your body, train harder, achieve better performance and gain strength much faster. Hard to believe a muscle I've never heard about can cause all of this. I knew I should have paid more attention in class, haha. So I've shown how important these muscles are, but they have a nemesis which makes you weaker, kills your sex life and makes you fatter. Can you guess what it is? If you said sitting, then you're right. Sitting the psoas to become tight and creates most of these problems. Don't worry, sitting for a few minutes or an hour or so won't harm you, but sitting for really long extended periods of time causes many of the problems I mentioned above. Sitting extended periods of time hurts you in 3 ways, which Rick and Mike cover more in depth on their website, but in short are bulging belly syndrome. It's not weak abdominal muscles, it's a tight psoas muscle which causes your lower back to curve. This pushes your stomach out a little, which gives your stomach that bulging look. Fat loss. The psoas is actually considered to be the body's fight or flight muscle, which I didn't know before. It tightens almost instantly when we detect danger, so it can protect us or help us run. It tightens when it detects the release of adrenaline. So it's normal for this muscle to tighten sometimes, but when it's always tight it causes the body to think you're always in some type of danger. This causes your adrenal glands to work overtime, which causes the body to switch into a mode where it stores fat instead of burning it. Lack of performance. Long story short, it leads to pulling on your lower back, which causes decreased blood flow through your hips, and lower blood flow means a lack of fun for you. Hard to believe that sitting all day causes these problems, and the part that sucks is that diagnosing tight hip flexors muscles isn't easy and can be a little tricky in some cases. Physicians have a hard time with this because this muscle is deep within your abdomen, which makes it hard to detect with simple press and stress tests. So don't fret if you were having problems, because it's not as if you knew the hip flexors were causing the problems. BTW, if this is a little hard to understand, forgive me as I'm trying, LOL. The official Unlock Your Hip Flexors website does a way better job of explaining all of this in my opinion. If you YouTube or do some Googling, you may find some so-called experts claiming that the key to keep this from being a problem is called static stretching, and yes, it does help and has a place, but it has a very minimal effect. The trick to come at it from a number of different angles using a bunch of different exercise techniques to cause the muscle to untighten. You can learn to do it yourself though, and that is what Unlock Your Hip Flexors is all about. You'll learn what combination of exercises are needed to unlock the hip flexors. A few of them are PNF stretching, dynamic stretching, mobility exercises, muscle activation movements and more. The problem all of these in the correct order is tough and time consuming, but Rick Kaselj and Mike Westerdahl have created a sequential flow method which makes the entire process easy and simple. You need a formula which works every time, because trying to release one muscle before another and it can add to your tightness, making it worst. Rick Kaselj, MS, a leading injury specialist who has been featured in the San Francisco Chronicle, Canada.com, Livestrong.com, and other sites and magazines, designed a flow method which takes just 15 minutes and provides the correct sequence of techniques to unlock the tension and solve this nagging, annoying flexors problem. Hi. I think it's important that we look a little more at who the authors of this Unlock Your Hip Flexors program are, because it's a direct extension of their knowledge and experience. So let's find out who the authors of this program are, shall we? Pros of Your Hip Flexors program. The program is easy to follow, simple and inexpensive. A lot of products try to solve multiple problems and end up filled with a lot of fluff and do a poor job of execution, but not Unlock Your Hip Flexors. The program and solves one problem, which is your hip flexors. Rick is a great teacher and everything makes sense within the manual and the video. The program is pretty cheap and you won't have to do an hour-long workout or spend your whole day trying to get the result you want. This pro is actually what it says and nothing else. It's straight to the point and I respect that. You'll learn exactly how to target this hard-to-reach muscle and get it working the way it should, so you can perform at 100%. I felt in the videos that Rick was teaching me personally without having to pay him for all of his years of knowledge and experience, and it's nice to know I don't have to be a personal trainer to understand the content. In addition, a big pro of the program is the 60-day money-back guarantee. Unlock Your Hip Flexors is being sold by ClickBank.com, which is the leading online retailer for health and fitness products. You'll have 60 days to determine if you want to keep the program. If Unlock Your Hip Flexors doesn't fit within your current fitness or health goals, then just ask for a refund and you'll get it with no hassle. Rick has amazing customer support too. Cons: I have a couple of cons, but none of them are major and would keep me from trying out the program. The first is the nature of the product, which is the hip flexors. It can seem complicated and confusion at first glance, which may turn some people off, but I promise Rick makes everything super easy to understand. Everything will make perfect sense. The other I had was that this product is only being offered as a digital product, which means you can't order a physical copy. At least at the time I reviewed this product you couldn't. This isn't a real problem, but I know some people prefer to have a real copy. Once you unlock your hip flexors program, you will get instant access to the manual, videos and bonuses. You won't have to wait for anything to get shipped. The other issue is the price. I know some people tend to think low-priced products have little value, but I promise Rick packs a punch with this program. If you think your flexors are acting up, you won't have to worry, because by the end of the video you'll be feeling better. My hip flexors review conclusion. So we've finally come to the end of this Unlock Your Hip Flexors review, and if you made it to the end, I'm proud of you, because the subject of muscles and hip flexors can sound confusing. The truth is that the muscles in our body exist for specific reasons and provide certain functions. So when it isn't working the way it should, it makes sense that you'll experience other problems in the body. I guess the human body is no different than a car. If you don't keep it working properly, something else can break or cause the car to not work at all. Rick K knows his stuff and has the background, knowledge, and experience to help you solve your problem. It's not easy to take a subject like this and break it down in a way anyone can understand. His unique flow movement system unlocks the hip flexors, and it doesn't take hours to do it. As I mentioned, there is a 60-day money-back guarantee, so if you think you need to unlock your hip flexors, then check out this program from Mike Westerdahl and Rick Kaselj My. Once again, I highly recommend you check out the official website to learn more and get a better understanding of the subject. I hope you found this Unlock Your Hip Flexors review useful. Click here to visit the official Unlock Your Hip Flexors website.